Hello, it's Miss Mariah Day. I wanted to give you this video. You clicked on this because you said that you were interested in working on a couple more practice problems for balancing equations. Maybe you didn't turn in the balancing equation M&M assignment, or maybe you didn't turn in the balancing equation PhET. So I just wanted to give you one more opportunity to kind of get some more practice, as you're going to need to know this for next week's assessment. So if you gave me a feedback sheet, I stapled an assignment. It looks like this. It says writing and balancing chemical equations. Go ahead and open to worksheet number 1. We're going to review number 1, and the next video will have number 9, and the following video will also have number 13. Oh, that's not 13. There's 13. So again, I wanted to say thank you for allowing me to go and see my grandfather for his 100th birthday. So again, I am super excited to be able to support you and also be able to hopefully get you back on track for understanding how to balance an equation. So we're going to go through number 1 together, and then you'll click on the other videos to do number 9 and number 13. As you're familiar with, thought we'd bring it home. I'm in my classroom. We got a little bit of the construction going on, so please apologize for the sound. I will speak as loudly as I can. So, all right. So first step, we've already done this. You've done this a handful of times, so this should be nothing new. We've got aluminum and hydrochloric acid and aluminum chloride and hydrogen gas. I left off the solids, the aqueous on the board because we don't really need it to balance the equation. So the first thing we have to do is we need to count the number of aluminums, hydrogens, and chlorines on the reactant side. As you might already remember, this is the reactants, these are the products. So if we count through, we've got aluminum, we've got 1 aluminum, we've got 1 hydrogen, we've got 1 chlorine. I also recommend that you use pencil whenever you are working on this, and even better, maybe use an extra sheet of paper instead of writing it directly on this sheet. So this is where you write your final answer. And then we're going to go to products. We've got 1 aluminum on this side. We're like, sweet, that's balanced. Not quite. So then we've got, go to hydrogen. We've got 2 hydrogens. Then we go to chlorine, and we've got 3. So that should be like, uh-oh. All right, we've got an odd number. So anytime you see an odd number and some even numbers, that should be your first thought. I have to figure out how to make these work together. So first thing, we've got our odd number. Might as well, this is a trial and error, trial back and forth, back and forth. Unfortunately, sometimes whenever it works out great, you're like, sweet, it's balanced. Or if you count everything and everything's works out that you put a number in front of one thing, it's always awesome that that works. But occasionally we have ones like this that are kind of a pain. So if you see an odd number, that should also be a little like signifier, okay, we need to figure out a way to make that an even number. You might know if it's an odd number, you'll multiply it by 2 and it will automatically make it an even number. So first thing we're going to do, let's take this odd number and we're going to put a 3. I mean, I said just a second ago that we multiply by 2, but we're going to take you the long pathway to get there. So we're going to cross off that one, or if you are using an eraser, go ahead and erase that, because we are going to put a 3 in front of that HCl. So now we have 3 chlorines, now we have 3 chlorines. Now, how many hydrogens do we have? We now have 3. This is where I was kind of talking about like, uh-oh, now we have a 3 and a 2. So, I apologize if you use pen, but you certainly want to continue using pencil. That's your lesson on this one, is to use a pencil. Alright, we're going to then back it up, put the back one, we're going to erase that one, say, alright, well, how can we make this an even number? I had said before, multiply this times 2. So, that means if I multiply this times 2, that will make it 6. As you know. So I'm going to put a 2 in front of here and make this 6. That's now going to change our aluminum as well to 2. We'll worry about that one later because remember we leave monoatomic atoms or monoatomic molecules alone until the end. And so then we've got 2, we've got 6. So 2 times 3 is 6. We've got then I'm going to change this side now. So if I have a 2 here, so now we have 6, so what number is now going to go in front of here? We're now going to put a 6 in front of there. So now we have our chlorines balanced. Sweet! We've got our chlorines balanced. We've got our, now it's, oh, we don't have our hydrogens balanced yet. So now we've got to change that to 6. So now how can we make this hydrogen on this side be a 2? So what times 2 equals 6? You got it. So we're going to change this to 6, which means we're going to need to change the number in front of this to 3. So we've got our hydrogen balanced. We've got our aluminums not balanced. You saw that. So here's me being clever, talking to the air. We're going to put a 2 in front of here. And then we've got 2. So now our coefficients, remember our vocabulary, it's right there on the board, right behind table 2. We've got 2 aluminums, 6 HCl's, 2 aluminum chlorides, and 3 H2s. So now our equation is balanced. So that is number 1. Again, we have to go back and forth, back and forth. So I'm going to do number 9 for you all. Hopefully that will feel a little bit easier too. All right, talk to you soon. Bye.